And you're welcome back to The Pulse. Now, the Convention People's Party this afternoon is alleging that Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was not giving a befitting burial. Hence, the party has decided to organize a new burial for the late freedom fighter. General Secretary of the party, Nana Jantua, made this revelation whilst addressing the media at the Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum to commemorate the 50 years of his demise.
Today, as we celebrate 50 years of Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's death, we also remember his dark days in exile in Guinea, the cold and lonely nights on his hospital bed in Bucharest, Romania. God only knows what was going on through his mind. Perhaps his wonder was, am I going to get a befitting burial when the Lord calls me? A befitting burial he did not get. A restless soul which needs to rest is the bane of Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It is on this premise that the Convention's People's Party and like-minded people in the diaspora on the African continent would organize a befitting funeral for Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of the Republic of Ghana and the doyen of Pan-Africanist movement in the world. Yes, a man with an indelible legacy who was misunderstood during his time. This event will take place in November 2022, and in no time, the Convention's People's Party will bring out the timetable of activities that will culminate into the actual funeral and also inaugurate a funeral committee in June.
Well, the Convention People's Party is also demanding government return assets seized from Dr. Nkrumah during his overthrow in 1966. They insist those assets were acquired through the contributions of party faithful.
On this occasion, we want to reiterate our request for the return of our assets of the CPP as a move to deepen comradeship and promote reparation. Your Excellency, it will be worthwhile to return to us the Information Ministry building and the Ghana Fire Service headquarters, among many others. Your Excellency, we hope you will oblige us this request. Let us all at the CPP imbibe the tenets of democracy, rule of law, freedom and justice, while resisting the rule of the oppressor.
There you have it. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the death of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. At that time of his death, obviously he was in exile after his overthrow in 1966. His political party is also, as we do know, celebrating his achievements on this day. Joining us now via Zoom is Head of Politics and in charge of such issues at the Convention People's Party, Kwame Nkrumah. He's joining us live via Zoom. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. So here we are today. Your party is making some demands. First of all, let's start with the controversy surrounding the burial of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Why is the party resurrecting an age-old matter, a matter which many believe has been settled?
Really good morning, good afternoon, and I'm the Political Affairs Chairman. Why do you say it's been settled? Because we don't think Nkrumah has had a befitting funeral. Look at the number of times he was buried, from Conakry to Nkrofo and to where he's buried now. Somebody should tell me whether we had a befitting burial for the man. Nkrumah is no mean person. And I'm not talking only for the CPP, but I'm talking in terms of Africa. He was voted the Millennium Man of the last century. That means a lot. And some of the things he did, have we been able to repeat it today in Ghana? 50 years on, have we progressed? I grew up with an excellent motorway. I grew up with good sugar factory. I grew up with good public transport. I grew up with good railway. I grew up with so many things that we haven't been able.
And Kwame, that's exactly where the argument is being made from. The fact that we focus on the legacies of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and not necessarily the mortal remains of the first president of Ghana.
Well, the man did quite a lot. And if he did quite a lot, don't you think he deserves a befitting burial?
So what would you prefer? Which of these would you prefer? The legacy of Dr. Nkrumah celebrated, or remarking his burial, or whatever the case may be? Which one is more paramount to the Convention People's Party?
I would I would prefer us celebrating somebody who was prepared to take Ghana to the next level. But the right things have to be done. If it so happened that most of the things he did, we've been able to progress it, we've been able to advance it, we've been able to create a Ghana that everybody is satisfied with, would we be crying? We won't. Look at our housing system today. Look at the number of houses in Nkrumah put up. Look at our employment system today. Yes, populations are different, but if we had the chance to graduate as our population grew, would it not have been better for us today? Even look at our industries today. Isn't it led by foreigners? Look at our banks. How many foreign banks do we have in this country compared to domestic banks?
So how will the burial of Dr. Nkrumah change that?
Well, we haven't done the right thing. With us, we believe that because we haven't done the right thing, let's do the right thing and move from there. We feel Nkrumah has cursed this country. We feel it because all governments that have come, and I can only talk about the Fourth Republic because the others were coup d'etats. We believe that scepter of Nkrumah hanging over us has to be broken, and we believe we need to give him a good send-off and a good goodbye. Our culture does not allow that to happen. Our culture does not allow that to happen. When somebody dies, you give the person a befitting burial.
Just give us a sense of this. How will this new burial of Dr. Nkrumah look like in November when the CPP holds that event?
Well, we're going to sit down and plan it. And we're going to make sure that all those who are interested in making sure that Ghana moves forward, we bring them together. Look, right now we have AFTA. What does AFTA signify? Who started that AFTA event? Wasn't it Nkrumah? He was talking about Pan-Africanism. Isn't AFTA Pan-Africanism? We would make sure we bring everybody together to give the man a befitting burial. And please, don't make it look as if we are harping on old things. Right thing has to be done. When President Rawlings died, did we not give him a befitting burial? Did Ghanaians not attend his burial? When President Atamils died, didn't the same happen? When the vice president, the two vice presidents died, did we not give them befitting burials? Doesn't Nkrumah deserve a befitting burial?
For the records, at least we know that Dr. Nkrumah was giving a state burial. That's a fact, isn't it?
Well, I didn't go to a state burial of Nkrumah. We know that he was taken from Nkrofo. When he was brought, he went to the bed in Nkrofo, and President Rawlings felt no, where he was put wasn't good, so he brought him to the mausoleum. I don't remember a state burial for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I don't remember. Ask his children and let them tell you that they attended his burial. His wife is still alive. Ask her, but she died. But I don't think we've given him a befitting burial.
You have a fine opportunity with the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, a great edifice that you could transform and to educate people on Pan-Africanism and other related subjects which Dr. Nkrumah championed when he was alive. Why are you not doing that and instead focusing on what many or some see as irrelevant?
Whose responsibility is it to make sure the mausoleum is up to scratch? Look, I was a board member of Mausoleum 2018. Mausoleum was the most visited edifice in this country in 2018, 2019. Government at the time said they would put money in fact, not 2018. Yeah, 2018. Government said they would put money in it. Not a cent went into it. Today, President Akufo-Addo has added it to some of the tourist areas that they're going to enhance. Let's see whether it happens. Go to the mausoleum today. It's not a place that you can visit and say it's a tourist attraction.
Kwame, the point is, Kwame, I'm sorry, but the point is the CPP is a political party. You receive dues from your membership. If Dr. Nkrumah represents your ideals and what it is that you've been preaching to the people of Ghana, why not just amass or gather some revenue from within and try and renovate that edifice?
The mausoleum isn't under the CPP. The mausoleum is under the Ministry of Tourism. We can't just get up and say, we've gathered $1 million, we want to go and renovate the mausoleum. It's not our property, it's the country's property. And it's the responsibility of the government in power to make sure that all tourist sites are enhanced and kept right. And the mausoleum is one of them. It's one of the most visited places in this country. But look at the state of it. It's not right. The right thing should be done.
And beyond this as well, you're making fresh demands, asking, it's not necessarily new, but you're asking once more that government lets go of some of the assets that belongs to the CPP. We're not doing an independent verification here, but what's the list looking like in terms of the assets that the government has seized from the CPP?
Well, at least the first one is the Ministry of Information Building. That asset is for the CPP. It was bought from the dues of the CPP members. It was seized during the '66 coup. And quite a number of them who can get you the list. I mean, right things should be done. I just don't understand it. Right things should be done. What should be put right should be put right. And I don't see why an infrastructure that is for a political party, you seize it and you add it to government buildings when it's not government buildings, when it wasn't bought by government. That is wrong. It is wrong. The right thing should be done.
Have you spoken to the relevant officers and the ministries in charge of this?
I said we have tried. We tried during President Mahama's time. He promised he will return CPP's assets to them. Never happened. Never happened. It's not as if we haven't tried. Professor Akusa was even part of the team that visited him. I was part of the team that visited him. He promised that it would be returned. Nothing has been returned till date. And that is wrong.
Well, you have an opportunity now, an opportunity to rebuild the Convention People's Party. The belief is that if you had a united front, all of these dreams that you had of a great political party would have materialized. Yet you are struggling even amongst yourselves to mend the front, the leadership, I mean. You're still dealing with a lot of challenges in terms of division here and there. There's even fight over the suspension of some members, leading figures of the CPP. Are you leaving all that aside and pursuing something else?
How can we leave that aside? It's part and parcel of the challenges we're going through. And if you want me to talk about it, how can a political party be ruled by a constitution? The constitution of this country is the
well, you'd have to unmute for us, Kwame Jantua. We're struggling to get the point you're making. But yes, you were talking about the constitution.
Yes. How is it that a constitution of a political party indicates that anybody who stands flag bearer or party chairman must get 50+1, and we go to an election and somebody who stood gets 43% and now claims to be chairman of the party? Does that not mean we are breaching our constitution? How will the people of Ghana even believe us when it comes a time when we are standing for election and we have put the flag bearer up? They will say, your own constitution, you couldn't even honor it. The party chair got 43% instead of 50+1, and you did nothing about it. And that is why we are saying right things should be done. And we are not saying the current chair cannot stand, because the constitution indicates that anybody who gets less than 50+1, there should be a rerun between the first two contestants. Nobody is stopping her from running. So why all the hullabaloo? Why? Why do you still want to stay in place?
Right.
Put yourself up. Let's have another election. It could be that you would win.
Indeed, we'll continue to monitor the developments.
I don't understand.
Right. We'll continue to monitor.
Say that again?
Yeah, we'll continue to monitor that development. But as we wrap up on this conversation, there are numerous reactions, even on social media, about the conversation we're having now. Some are even asking why you missed that fine opportunity of placing your demands on the seized assets before President Liman, for instance, who was pro-Nkrumahist and someone who believed in socialist ideals.
How long did President Liman stay in power for? 18 months. 18 months.
It takes one executive order just to reverse that.
At that time, there were so many important things that President Liman was handling. We had come out of a military situation, and things needed to be put right. We would have gotten to it if he had spent his term. But did he have the chance to do that? He didn't have the chance to do that. And so let's start by doing things right in this country, because I don't think we're trying to do that. If we do things right, I'm sure Ghanaians will be satisfied with governments that come into place. It's not a private person's property to be leader of a party or president of this country. The right thing needs to be done, period. There's so many things that have gone pear-shaped in this country that needs to be brought back and done properly. And it's only good leadership that will be able to do that. And we are not going to sit down and say that our constitution says X, and so we're doing Y. No, we go according to the constitution, because we have to go according to this country's constitution with whatever we do.
Okay, then, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you for joining us, Kwame Nkrumah, Head of Political Affairs for the Convention People's Party. Well,